right. Woo! Yeah! I'm excited. You excited?
You're bet yourself you are. We got a good movie. Finally.
Yeah! I don't know what bet yourself means, but I don't, oh, damn it. This car's dying on me. There we go. Okay. I'm still figuring out this car. I just want my car back, man. Next week I'll get my car back, hopefully. So yeah, we saw Ex Machina, and yeah, it's really fucking good. I don't know what to talk about. Like, it's a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, all right, let's start with the storyline. Basically, this coder at a company for something called Blue Book, which is basically their version of Google.
Yeah, like, it's very thinly veiled Google.
Yeah.
Because apparently it's a search app or search website search engine, that apparently makes everything. So, again, thinly veiled Google. Run by a guy named Nathan, who is a very secluded, high-tech...
eccentric individual.
Very eccentric individual. Who plays him? Yeah, I know I've seen
Oscar Isaac. He was in Drive.
Okay.
That's the one thing... He was in another movie lately, but that's just the one I always remember seeing him in.
I haven't watched Drive.
Oh, he's also in the new Star Wars movie.
Is he? Who's in the new Star Wars movie?
He was an X-Wing pilot, I remember that.
Nope. I'm gonna roll down the windows a little bit. It's a little...
Yeah, but yeah, you'll remember him as an X-Wing pilot in the trailer.
Yeah, I wasn't paying that close attention. I know I've seen my other shit, but anyway, that's not important. Basically, so... What's the main character's name?
Caleb.
Caleb wins this lottery. Quotations giving away spoilers already. But wins this lottery, so he can spend a week up at Nathan's very, very exclusive...
Apparently
country.
He owns Ireland.
I was gonna say, yeah, he basically just owns a country. Yeah. But no one else on except himself in his little high-tech home. So I guess he's jonesing for some company. So he goes up there, but while he's up there, Nathan reveals, like, oh, I have some super secret shit planned. Do you want to see it? Okay, sign this non-disclosure agreement. Okay, let's take him down. Turns out I built a AI robot, kind of strangely hot robot female chick. Which, just makes you uncomfortable right off the bat.
Oh, they did get like...
I think that was intentional, though.
It was, because, they got it was like a Scandinavian or Swedish supermodel, apparently.
Was that who played her? She did a great job.
Yeah.
Legitimate good actress.
Yeah. Although it helps out with the fact that it's a machine that's supposed to kind of be flat, but at the same time...
But still, there's still little touches.
A lot of subtlety, yeah.
There's a lot of little touches. Like, just saying right off as like, oh, she's playing a robot. Like, no, that's not fair. Because there's a lot of little subtleties to her performance.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying she did a bad job. I'm just saying that's, for a machine, it's fitting that, so even if she wasn't doing a good job, you probably wouldn't necessarily tell. Well, no, I lied, you probably would. Yeah. But she does do a good job in this.
No, she does a great job. I mean, because she's supposed to be, testing to see if the AI is actually working, whether or not she's indistinguishable from human consciousness.
Yeah.
And that's the running theme through the entire movie, is with the extended AI. Like, we were talking about this on the way back. This is what Chappie fucking wanted to be so badly. It turns out all he needed was less Hugh Jackman. Or, weird pop artists.
Oh, the South African rap group Diane Wood.
That was it. I don't know the name, and I don't want to get it wrong to be offensive again. Accidentally racist. Apparently, that's what I am. Don't quote me on that. I'm not. At least I tried to. Anywho, moving on. Digging myself a hole. Anyway, you talk a little bit for Ronald Grant. I'm tired.
Sorry, I'm just imagining a version of that song "Accidental Racist," where instead of that stuff between LL Cool J and Brad Paisley, they just take some of your misconstrued quotes.
Don't give them ideas, man. You know what's gonna happen is Wuhan and West are gonna get together now, and they're gonna make that a thing.
That would be fantastic.
God. Wes already reminded me earlier today of the joke I made in Vampire Academy that I completely forgot about.
Oh boy. So anyway, Caleb is there to kind of test the waters of how legitimate AI is, and as time goes on, they seemingly develop a relationship between the two, like in terms of like understanding and like feelings.
Yeah, and of course there's always a question throughout the movie, is like whether or not her feelings are legitimate or they're just simulated. There's a lot of like reality versus simulation arguments going through the movie. This is a really smart sci-fi movie, and it's a great example of why sci-fi is such a great genre in general, is because you can explore these ideas in very creative ways.
And it does do a great job of just asking the idea of like, what is humanity, but the idea to think, and just because if a body is a machine, can it think? Even if it's an AI, does the way that it can process like we do make it human?
Yeah, like the closest example I could think of was her, that came up in the Spike Jonze movie, that kind of explored similar
That's what
ideas.
I was thinking. It was like this. I felt it was like when people said that it looked like a horror movie. I think this is what they were referring to.
What, like, would look like her,
or like when people say like her kind of look creepy.
Well, it's advertised as it's advertised. That's the advertisement's fault.
Yeah,
I mean, it's advertised like a drama thriller.
I never got that.
Yeah, I did.
Well, then again, I didn't see the first trailer. I think.
Yeah, the trailer made it look like she goes nuts and tries to kill everyone in the house. Which is, of course, well, not entirely what happens, but okay, kind of happens. Spoiler.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry.
Well, it's my fault for not watching it. But say no more.
Fair enough. Well, Jackie's supposed to minimum, but some are gonna be kind of unavoidable. So
Yeah.
you watch the show, you know the drill.
Yeah.
So
I know. So I was like,
I wasn't talking to you specifically. I was talking to our theoretical audience that are watching this, that apparently thinks that me yelling at Patrick is hilarious, which it kind of is, to be fair.
I need to see this video when I get home, actually.
Apparently, it's already built like a reputation. I felt like 3 different people go, "Dude, I saw your video."
Oh my dad's been bugging me about it. It's like, so did you see the meltdown yet? You see the meltdown yet? You see
Your
the meltdown
dad's been bugging you about
He hasn't watched it, but it's like I told him that apparently you had a meltdown, and he's like asked me constantly if I watched it yet.
Like, what did your family call me again? Captain Curse Word?
Captain F-Bomb.
Captain F-Bomb, that was it. I kind of like Captain Curse Word a little better, actually. But no, like I said, this is just smart sci-fi. This is smart.
It is.
And oh my god, is the CGI amazing.
Yeah.
Like, this is some of the best CGI I think I've ever seen.
Well, that's because they do very subtle stuff. Like, it's more reductive than, like, adding on, I'd say.
Well, like, again, it kind of goes back to, like, the comparisons to Chappie, which is, like, CGI was fantastic in that movie, too.
Yeah.
And then, like, this one I'd argue is better, just in general, because there's less of it.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Like, there's less of it, so therefore it's harder to poke flaws at. Like, you still see little strange bits here and there, but it's very...
But it flows very well.
Yeah.
And like I said, the design of, like, this, like, the Apple-esque design, let's face it, this looks like something that came out of Apple.
I was thinking of those vodka ads, actually.
A little bit of vodka ads.
Or was that NOS antivirus?
I don't know that one, but...
Okay, basically, okay, so, like, you remember the Absolute Vodka where it had those, like, those machines that were kind of designed like them? Well, it was an antivirus that had a machine, like, it had a human style, but, like, that kind of same robotic infrastructure, I guess?
I don't think I've seen those commercials.
Well, it's a print ad.
Okay, that's probably why I haven't seen it, but...
Well, they both are. But, yeah.
But no, that's like but it works. That's something like they use it sparingly, know when to use it, how to use it, and it's very effective. I mean, a lot of the twists in movies aren't too surprising. Like, you and I figured it out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because spoiler alert, this time I put it in the right place. It turns out like Nathan has this other like woman in his complex that doesn't speak English, but she looks like she's like Japanese or Korean or something like that.
She's Japanese.
Japanese, what that was? All right.
Well, the name like Kyoko, that's fairly obvious it's Japanese.
If I get it wrong, I get called accidental racist, so...
Yeah. Also, the actress's name was Japanese.
Oh, by the way, going back to Chappie for a second, I'm not the only person that saw the Hugh Jackman thing. Someone else pointed that same shit out, too.
What out?
The fact that Hugh Jackman looked like a stereotypical Australian. I'm not the only fucker that pointed that out. I just want to make that clear. Because that was bugging me. It's like, that's not racist. That's... The way they're doing is racist. Anyway. Not that I hold grudges, apparently. But, anywho, back to the movie. So, yeah, but you can figure out pretty quickly, yeah, she's a robot.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's revealed, like, yeah, apparently he just makes sex slaves, waits for them to go insane, breaks them apart, makes new ones.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if they're all sex slaves, but it's like...
Well,
they
have details.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what's so much as, him being a pervert or the movie trying to save a budget a little bit.
No, pervert.
Definitely
pervert.
No, like, even, like, some of the weird shit that happens in the movie, like, these are very well-defined characters. Like, even, like, Ava is a very fascinating character.
Yeah.
And when, like, these are fun characters to analyze, and fun characters that, not necessarily fun, but interesting to watch.
Like, the way she's analyzed is like a meta Turing test that they do throughout the movie. Because, like, basically, we analyze her almost the same way as Caleb does. It's like, it's one of those things where, like, you don't realize, you know, certain things until it's, like, actually pointed out, like, or when he realized it, in terms of, like, these personality quirks. Or,
well, that's the way a good movie does
quirks,
it.
But,
like, well, that's the way a good movie should work, is, like, you're not necessarily figuring out before the main character does. You're going along with the journey as the main character is doing it, too. And that's what the movie does. The pacing is very good.
Yeah.
And it knows when to have a quiet moment, it knows when to let the ambiance set in, it knows when to let the tension build, and there's some great fucking tension in this movie.
Yeah.
Especially towards the third act. And the guy who plays Nathan just plays a terrific jackass.
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac just makes a terrific jackass, and you just want this fucker to die.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, you get your wish. But
yeah.
Even then, like, even when the stuff gets violent, it's still surprisingly toned down and played, like, very smoothly. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Like, even, like, smooth is a good way to kind of describe this movie a little bit. It's kind of an odd descriptor, but it's one that I feel is accurate. Do you agree with that? Or?
Yeah, because, like, I was paying attention to the way, how he's dispatched.
Yeah.
And it was like, huh, it doesn't have the same impact as you'd see in most other movies.
Yeah, usually they go for the psycho, reek. But, you want to talk about the ending?
Yeah, that was bleak as hell.
Yeah. Okay, so, massive spoilers, obviously. But at the end of the movie, it turns, at this point, the guy, oh, he's in Judge Dredd, that's where I saw him in.
Who?
The main character.
Really? Oh, that guy! He was the hacker.
Yeah, he was the hacker guy.
Yeah, well, that came full circle. Oh, I thought he looked familiar.
But yeah, I keep forgetting his name.
Caleb.
Basically falls in love with Ava.
Yeah.
And decides to try to help him break out, which, you know, long story short, he does. I'm skipping over some stuff because, you know, it's kind of complicated to explain. There's like 3 twists involved, you know. Yeah,
that was a good example of the double twist. Well, multi-twist.
Yeah, it was like a triple, quadruple twist, something along those lines. So there's a lot of twists in the final act of the movie, which wasn't a bad thing. It worked.
Yeah.
Like it kind of turns out like the whole thing was an experiment by Nathan to see if Ava could use her knowledge of other people's emotions to trick.
Basically, if she can use emotions to manipulate.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he described her as like the rat in the maze, and Caleb is the way to get out. So she had to use him to try to get out, but he doesn't necessarily believe him. So he sets her free anyway, and it turns out apparently, yeah, that's what she was doing. So because she just leaves him locked in a room to die. Nathan is dead.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was in a room per se, but definitely within like a good chunk of the house.
No, he was in the bedroom. He was in Caleb's bedroom.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not Caleb, Nathan's bedroom. That's where he was. That's where he stayed locked up. And then Ava goes on the helicopter he was supposed to get on. Apparently, the pilot had no problem just taking this random woman.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a different pilot or what, but yeah, that did kind of bug me. I was like, wait, you don't remember, or you didn't get any description of this person / name?
Well, I was like, all right, whatever. I'm not getting paid to care, so
well, probably
take up to the chopper. And now she just lives off in the world doing things.
Yeah,
probably on intersection freeways or whatever she wanted to go eventually. Yeah. But yeah, like it's kind of hard to think of stuff to talk. I mean, there's a lot of interesting ideas about just what AI is and what consciousness is, and what's simulation, what's reality,
Yeah, it even had like kind of a Blade Runner moment, which kind of there's a bit of questioning about.
Oh yeah, like
who's human, who's a machine.
Like
that was kind of definitely creepy.
Yeah, it was creepy. Like Caleb realizes that almost everyone in the house is a robot except for Nathan, and so he starts he starts to wonder if he's a robot too. Like maybe.
Yeah. I was wondering that from the beginning.
True, I had that same thought. And I was kind of wondering too, because that's why they just literally jumped like right into going to Nathan's house. There was no build up to it, except for like the non-vocal section of Caleb winning the lottery.
Yeah, kind of like I was thinking like they were doing something not unlike God, it was a great Twilight Zone episode.
The Island.
No, it was an episode in which like this guy like basically has like these robots programmed in which he's giving them like all false memories and whatnot to make them think they're human.
Yeah, like some twist like that would not surprise me. I'm kind of glad that they didn't go that route though, because we've seen that a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad they didn't go that route. I like the route they did go. Like,
yeah,
the one where he's questioning it, but turns out he's still human, but he's just losing his mind.
But that also kind of helped emphasize the idea of like how in the right is he in terms of like his sanity, and like is he going the is he fully lucid in terms of his thought processes?
Well, there's kind of a argument debate that whether or not anyone in this movie is really in the right or in the wrong.
Yeah.
Because even like Nathan, although he's a gigantic douchebag, you do kind of have to wonder whether or not he's actually really wrong necessarily. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, these are machines. Which again, that comes back to what makes a human, what makes a machine. Again, there's a lot of circular debates you can get about that. And I guess that's one of those interesting. I can't talk today. This is one of those interesting movies where you can explore those questions in a way that doesn't have a clear answer.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it a great movie.
We rolled the window because those sirens.
It's San Jose.
Yeah.
I have total control. There we go. Oh. Wow, I've been in the city way too long. I just now noticed those sirens.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it. Oh, that's why. It's literally right behind us.
Oh shit, they found us. Duck and cover, Grant.
Yeah. They know we signed the NDA!
Shit, we're talking about the movie! Take them down, boys. Turns into Gangster Squad.
I didn't see that one. Anyway,
that's a fun B-movie.
But yeah, like, as you said, like, the only one who's, like, really good is Caleb, but that, of course...
Even then, you can make an argument whether or not what he's doing is really right.
Yeah.
Because, as was kind of shown, she also has no inhibitions about killing people.
Yeah. Well, once again, that's more about, like, he was doing good, but he was...
Doing it for the wrong reasons.
I wouldn't say for the wrong reasons, but he was definitely manipulated into not realizing he was doing good for someone who wasn't so good.
Yeah. And of course there's also an argument whether or not they should build AI robots, whether or not it's inevitable and stuff like that. And I guess that's where you see the nihilism.
Where they address the idea of, evolution in general as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Because, like, in between these segments where they, by the way, which was cleverly done, where, like, every time that Caleb has a discussion with Ava, they call it, like, Ava Session 1, Ava Session 2, and that which really plays well into the final act of the movie.
Yeah.
And it also, like, kind of segments the character growth, the entire arc of the movie. Like, these characters do have a clear arc through them, and it's very, very effective.
Yeah.
And, like, and of course the guy who plays Caleb and the woman who plays Ava have great chemistry together. Even, like, Caleb and Nathan have great chemistry on screen together. Yeah. Like, this movie just works.
Yeah.
On pretty much every level it goes for.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized, actually, there was a bit of another direct because I totally forgot that Alex Garland also wrote the script for Dredd. Yeah, that explains where he kind of got the idea of getting him from.
Possibly. I don't know.
Because, he wrote and directed this one. Fantastic job. Like, this was a really good debut for him in terms of directing. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't think of much movie I did not like about this movie. At least to some extent. Yeah, it's like, even the weird stuff, like, it wasn't necessarily bad, it was just... Oh, like the dancing scene? Yeah. Yeah. That was one, like, you started, like, everyone, like, even the girls behind us started laughing at you. No, I think they were laughing at that. True, but I think they're also kind of laughing. I don't know, maybe it was just my imagination. Yeah, because it was just... I was laughing at you. Yeah, there's, like, a weird sequence where, like, I can't remember what the whole idea was coming on, but basically just Oscar Isaac and Kyoko just start dancing randomly out of nowhere, and Caleb just has, like, the exact same WTF face that I had. I was like, well, the movie acknowledges it. Yeah, but I guess like white boys dancing, that was kind of fun. Wait, what? Like, very awkward kind of, like, 60s dance moves. He's not... Wait, he's not white, though. I was like, you say white boy dancing, it was like... I didn't say he was a white boy. I said it was white boy dancing. Fair enough. Yeah. That's the moves I would do, because I don't know what else to do. So... Yeah, that was the 70s dancing, all right. Like 60s, 70s, in that era. Yeah. Even with, like, the disco music lights and everything. So it makes you wonder what future this exists in, kind of like what has happened to Earth at this point, because it's kind of implied that, like, everything's modern and all that stuff.
There's also some weird implications about Oregon. And I don't know if you caught that, but I did.
Wait, what?
He says he's from New Oregon. At one point.
No, I heard him just say Portland, Oregon.
I thought he said New Oregon.
No, he said Portland, Oregon.
I could have sworn I heard him say Portland, New Oregon.
I don't know, maybe I missed it, but
if you heard what I heard, then leave it in the comments. In which case, I want to know what happened to Oregon.
yeah.
That we need a new one. Whoops, this one's broken. Chip off.
Yeah. Oh, it just kind of had the same thing that Palo Alto and East Palo Alto had.
Oh. Now it's the North and South Oregon. Yeah. The Great South Civil War of Oregon.
Civil Oregon.
Now California ran out of water. We had nowhere else to go. So we're up to Oregon now.
We'll go down to California. Wait, they don't have any water there either. Well, crap.
Going down California way.
Yeah.
See, now I just imagine this old-timey documentary about the Civil War of Oregon.
Civil Oregon.
Civil Oregon. That sounds like a bad, Schwarzenegger movie.
I would pay to see it.
I know, right?
No,
I was...
Man, is there anything else? What?
I just imagine Schwarzenegger, standing on the border and just going, I owned California. Now I'm going to own you. Arnold Schwarzenegger in Civil Oregon. Stallone is the governor of Oregon.
Oh, I want to see this now.
Right.
It sounds like a weird sequel to Demolition Man.
Kind of does.
All right. Is there anything else to talk about this movie, though?
I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
One of the trailers, then?
Yeah.
I might as well talk about the new versions of these trailers, because we got all these,
Yeah, new, by which ironically we mean the first trailers.
Yeah, we all first trailers for this. It was kind of weird. I was expecting a bit more. But we got Terminator again. I just want to talk about the new trailer that came out.
Yeah.
Because I know you got some serious issues to that, and I don't blame you one iota. But
yeah.
Where, it turns out John Connor's a bad guy. We're not spoiling anything. It's in the trailer.
Yeah. And it was such a dumb twist.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that kind of would have made sense had it gone with the original massacre ending of Terminator Salvation, but of course they're ignoring that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, maybe, who knows, maybe it could work. I've seen, people have seen test screens, it's people's dude, it's better than the trailer.
Yeah. Wait, that doesn't even make sense. Because, and I mean, that's the other thing that doesn't make sense all of a sudden. Is okay, wait, so if they're ignoring 3 and 4, that means theoretically the nuclear winter should not have happened. In which case, why are they there to begin with? In which case, well, I don't know.
Don't overthink it, man. Don't
And
overthink
it's it made sense before. It's okay, it's still an alternate timeline, which, the whole parallel universe theorem.
Yeah.
But, it's just...
Oh, by the way, so a completely unrelated note, I figured out your X-Men Days of Future Past loophole.
Yeah.
I actually figured out why it makes sense. Why, it doesn't change right after, even though Wolverine is no longer involved. It's because they explain it in the movie as the past and present are technically happening simultaneously. So technically, the future wouldn't change until Mystique didn't shoot Stryker, or not Stryker, Bolivar Trask.
Yeah, that's...
In which case, the future would not change until that happened.
Yeah, but what I mean, of course, when I was talking about that, was the idea is based on what Wolverine had already done, that wouldn't have his presence wouldn't have affected it anyway. Though.
It wasn't about his presence, though. It's the fact that it was still technically happening at the same time as the future was happening.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, I got to tell Graham. Okay.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense then, yeah.
Yeah. Science. Not.
Theoretical science.
Theoretical. Chaos theory.
Yeah.
Then we got Jurassic World.
Let's keep talking about Terminator, though.
Oh, you got some more you want to talk about Terminator?
Seriously, why would the guy who's all about defeating the machines become the bad guy that would inevitably kill his mother? Because the point of survival is that she needs to survive so that he will be born. So by putting her in a situation that would negate his existence, how is that survival?
You get out of your system?
Yeah, I'm done.
I don't know. It's one of those things. It looks stupid, but... I don't know. I'm willing to give it a shot. If it works, maybe they'll pull off a miracle.
But... Yeah, I'll still watch it. Let's just find, like, I was a defender of it with the first trailer. Like, it still has a chance. I saw it and was like, oh, okay, I'm done. I'm still going to watch it, but now I don't have much faith. Which will make it easier for me to be pleasantly surprised.
Right, yeah, that's true.
So yeah, Jurassic World.
Then we got Jurassic World, which again, we'll just talk about the new trailer, because we've seen, like, this is the first trailer I've seen a million fucking times.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm still iffy on it.
Yeah.
Like, I know you have issues with the Raptors, and that baffles me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have more issues with the whole mutant T-Rex thing, but you have more issues.
No, I have issues with that too, because, like, on the one hand, I understand why they do that, but on the other hand, it's like, why not something a little bit safer?
Because you could train raptors, dude.
Yeah, if they could train raptors, why not save time for that? I mean, a trained raptor? Like, in that universe, yeah, I'd say that is cool. For me, it's kind of ridiculous because, we've seen what the hell they do.
Well, it's pack mentality. Sure, you're the pack leader, then chances are they're probably more towards it for you.
True, I suppose, but still, it
kind of made sense to me. I mean, It made the whole, Chris Pratt riding on a motorcycle with raptors as, like, his gang members. So it makes, like, okay, that's now I can actually get behind the fact that's really stupid and that can actually be kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully the explanation does make more sense, but even then the imagery is still kind of, what the hell?
I'm learned to accept it. That's what I'm saying. I have not accepted Mutant Dinosaur yet, mostly because, I don't know, they address it in the latest trailer, which I was glad, which is like, you have dinosaurs. What more spectacle do you need?
Yeah.
But,
and in all fairness, given that they're the smart ones, they'd probably be the only ones who really could do that with, I suppose.
See, all I could think of, have you seen your Patton Oswalt's routines?
I just watched one of them earlier.
Well, it's the one where he says, I think he was talking about like how science has gone too far. Oh no, he's talking about like how like the 65-year-old woman can get pregnant now. And he goes, it's like, you know what, guys? Just because you can do science things doesn't mean you should. That's like, here's science going, we made cancer airborne and contagious. You're welcome. We're science.
Yeah. Ian said that in the first movie too. Yeah. You spend so much time thinking whether or not you could, you never stop thinking whether or not you should.
Yeah, it's reminding me of I almost said Star Trek, the Jurassic Park universe.
Yeah, so the mutant dinosaur thing makes sense in that idea because, they shouldn't have done that to begin with, but at the same time it's like, yeah, you should have done something safer, or at the very least, genetically made it a lot stupider.
Yeah, right.
Hi, everybody!
We have made the ultimate mutant dinosaur. Actually, I was gonna go with I love you, you love me. Kill it with fire.
Send in the raptors. Now that would be acceptable for Chris Pratt, right? Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of would love to see Chris Pratt ride with the raptors' kills.
So, real Barney the dinosaur. Barney, the ultimate mutant dinosaur. Then what else we get?
San Andreas.
Yeah, we got San Andreas. I don't know. If it has Dwayne Johnson there, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Although it looks like a Roland Emmerich movie without Roland Emmerich.
Yeah. No, they even said they're trying to out Roland Emmerich.
Well, at least you know what you're going after. Not high aspirations, really, but, you know. I mean, it still looks fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
although, admittedly, I also prefer The Rock when it goes more comedic fun, whereas this seems kind of...
Yeah, but he's still charming, like in his more serious roles.
Yeah.
Charming as fuck guy. But, I don't know. There's Paul Giamatti in it, too. I don't know how they roped him into it, but they got him in it, too.
And they've gotten him in many a terrible thing.
True. But they also have, like, Sideways and shit, so we know he can do good stuff.
Yeah, because just remember, they somehow got him for Lady in the Water.
We don't talk about that one anymore.
Although to his credit, he still did a good job in that with what he had.
Then we got Mad Max, which, we're both psyched for. Like, the last couple trailers for this movie have just been absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I mean, this movie knows exactly what it is. It is Australian disaster porn.
Yes, and it looks spectacular. Yeah. There's a fucking rock and roll stage on a car on fire. That's the kind of movie this is.
Yeah. I just realized, I feel like they took that from... like the opening for the Rock Band games.
Who the hell cares?
Oh, I'm not complaining because
if you're going to take inspiration from anything, take it from like a old school rock and roll music video.
Yeah. I mean, of course, it helps that they got the original director from like the previous movies doing this again, and
yeah,
like even the weakest one was still kind of fun from what I'm
like. Even like the villain when he's talking, it sounds like almost like an old school Hitler speech.
Yeah. Well, which villain? Because there's Nicholas Hoult, and then there's
the guy with the mask.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming Nicholas Hoult, like he's the guy who's like the "What a lovely day," all that stuff, right? I'm assuming he's kind of like a sub-villain.
Yeah, like I keep forgetting he's in that.
Who plays him again?
Huh?
Who plays him again?
Nicholas Hoult.
I know that name. I'm trying to put a face on him.
Warm Bot. Oh, Beast.
Oh, wow, that's him?
Yeah.
Motherfucker. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say Warm Bodies too, but yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I recognize from Warm Bodies. But
yeah,
I actually didn't mind Warm Bodies. Wasn't
I heard that was alright.
It was decent. I wouldn't call it good, but it was decent. Yeah, that was all the trailers we got. You got anything else to talk about? You got anything else?
It's just a great kind of like philosophical movie in terms of like humanity and like what makes it so.
No, like this is good fucking sci-fi, and this is exactly I think what sci-fi was meant to do. Is these kind of movies.
And
so
as you stated, what Chappie meant to be.
Yeah, what Chappie was meant to be. So if you like good, genuine sci-fi, like that's not Star Wars and exposing and shit, then you'll like this movie fine.
Yeah.
If you just like good stories in general, you'll like this movie fine. If you like anything me and Grant usually like, you'll like this movie fine. Yeah. So I hope this review kind of gives you a clear idea what you would take away from this movie. If you haven't already seen it.
Yeah, watch this instead of Unfriended. This movie also makes better use of social media. No, not
really.
Well, it makes better references to it. Not in a way that makes you want to punch people.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Aside from the whole referring to Google potentially
owning the world.
Yeah, and giving off certain data between mobile providers.
Yeah, but at the same time, what are they going to get off my phone that would really be of any use to them? That's kind of always like a little spine thing.
Which reminded me of the other kind of joke. Wasn't when he created did you look through my porn history?
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
And I was like, very.
He did put it in incognito mode, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta do that shit. Clear your history. Otherwise, they'll make fancy AI robots that try to seduce you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with Age of Adeline, and I'm gonna see Avengers tomorrow because fuck it. We'll review it next week. Yeah. So, Grant, you're gonna be there, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get that run. Maybe I can talk Wes into it, I don't know. But, Sarah for sure, because I mooted to... I owe Sarah a good movie, because God knows I've taken her to see some of the worst shit we've seen. Well, not some of the worst, but I took her to see Taken 3 and 50 Shades of Grey, so I feel like I owe her something.
Yeah.
Even Cinderella, but I hated Cinderella, so...
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll be back.
Yeah, that one from what I've seen, you seem to be in the minority about that one, but... Still.
Well, fuck them. They don't know what they're talking about.
Or maybe it is good, but it's just not your thing.
No, it's just badly written. It's just bad, dude. It's like Unfriended. They tricked the critics somehow.
Actually, good news. Unfriended's finally in the negative zone.
Oh, is it? What's it at now?
59 last time I checked.
Okay. Well, that's still higher than it should be.
Yeah.
It's like it's same thing. Like they do a couple things different. They act like they're doing something new, but they're really not. And
which apparently that was the whole point, because they said they're trying to be quote unquote traditionalist.
But they're still trying to do something new. They're trying to make the story make more sense, and in the process make it make less sense. So much less sense. And not to mention, like, I didn't notice this to someone else pointing out to me, the character is actually significantly less competent in this movie than she was in the cartoon! And she is barely in that cartoon! Because at least in the end she fucking did something, and when she just mopes and whines and the mouse do all the work! Anyway, we'll be back next week. See you guys later.
Bye, everyone!